11 firefighters are injured, some of them seriously, after an explosion in downtown Los Angeles. Witnesses say it sounded like a freight train scattered ash across multiple city blocks. Laura McQuillan is tracking the latest on the story for us and joins us now. Laura, what happened?
Well, what we're learning, John, is that a fireball erupted while firefighters were battling a blaze at a warehouse or a business last evening. And we can show you some of the pictures from the scene, this incredible fire. Witnesses saying they saw something like a mushroom cloud. They thought perhaps a bomb had gone off. Now, what we're learning today is that, as you mentioned, 11 firefighters injured. 3 of them are in critical condition in hospital now, 2 of them on ventilators. We understand that they all have burns, but we are hearing from authorities that all of them are expected to survive, to recover. We don't know just how bad those burns are or whether they may have suffered some internal respiratory injuries as well. Now, as I mentioned, last evening about 6:30 is when this fire broke out. Initially, it was just some smoke coming from a building. So firefighters went inside while others went onto the roof to battle the flames. But then we're hearing they retreated because things just didn't feel right. Take a listen.
The smoke pressure was escalating. The heat was increasing in the rear of the occupancy. And when the member who was telling me this felt that, he was the officer, he directed everybody to immediately get out of the building. As they initiated their exit, that's when the explosion or flash, it's being described as both things, an explosion or flashover, occurred.
Now, we are hearing that potentially that decision may have saved lives. Firefighters having to run through a ball of fire, others down a burning ladder with their coats on fire and their helmets melting. As you can see, the aftermath there, and that fire actually then went and spread to other buildings nearby. But as more than 200 firefighters rushed to the scene, they were able to put all of that out within a couple of hours, John.
Laura, what do we know about the cause of the explosion?
That is still being looked at, and certainly today that will be a focus for firefighters, but it's not the only thing that investigators want to get to the bottom of, because they do want to know whether they should have been taking other precautions at the scene. What we know is that this was a hash oil manufacturer. They were using butane to extract THC from cannabis to make products for vapes, for edibles and the like, and that there were butane canisters seen at that site. So whether they should have known that potentially there was an explosion risk due to the nature of the business, unclear at this point in time. The fire chief also spoke on that.
My number one concern is to take care of our people here at the hospital. That's happening. After that, we have to complete the on-scene investigation. That is happening as we speak. That's going to take several days. And then we'll have a more in-depth, significant incident investigation team look at this incident to learn everything possible so that we can learn from this event.
So certainly a lot to look at for investigators there back at the scene. This morning, John, what we're hearing from the LA Fire Department's medical director is that it could have been so much worse if the firefighters hadn't made that call to retreat to get away from the building when the explosion took place, and certainly we'll be checking in throughout the day on their condition.
Thanks for this, Laura.